Hello and welcome. Tonight we're going to be featuring our UW Overwatch team in the new Collegiate Overwatch series. There's usually 2 Overwatch matches we feature weekly, but due to some time constraints, we're only going to be showing one of the matches from this weekend. We'll be showcasing the UW esports team against CSULB Black, and on a later date, the Northwood match. So our esports program seeks to build and foster a community, open doors to vast career opportunities in the field of gaming, and promote the virtues of a healthy competition. Through esports, we are able to communicate with each other, forming and developing digital communities so necessary in the challenging times we are facing. We hope you enjoy being a part of our community, and we invite you to get more involved. Follow us here or on our UW Esports Discord server, as well as our social media channels at U of W Esports. Now to introduce ourselves, I'm andVid, currently a sophomore at the University of Washington, and I'll be one of your casters tonight.
I am Nelson. I go by Panda 15, whatever. I am a freshman at the University of Washington. I'll be your second caster for tonight, as we are going to bring you our first game. And right now, the UW is undefeated, I believe. The current record is 6-0, and so we're probably going to see some pretty tough opponents given how they pair you against teams with similar win rates, right? So I'm hoping for a really good series here.
Yeah, UW has been doing great this beginning. So as you mentioned, it's going to get tougher and tougher. So we're going to get some more competitive maps. And so we're starting off here at Nepal.
And of course, this being, I believe, a Sanctum, there's kind of a big pit right next to the point. So don't fall in and you'll be fine, right? That's what they all say.
That's the plan. But we're going into our first fight right around over here. They're trying to go for this high ground right above point. As point opens up, Stealth Ninja immediately taking up some damage, so maybe hiding around this corner. Looks like UW is kind of pushed over and past the point, a few of them on the flank. But Ani is on Hanzo trying to get some points. He's hitting a few, but missing most of them. And Platypus, on the other hand, is low, but gets a point. He's able to take out his Zenyatta to start the point opening. But he's immediately taken down. There's a few trades going on right here. It's about even, I would say, in this match so far. Mag's trying to do some heal and damage at the same time. There we go. Now as people start fighting on the point, looks like Nathros is able to get a kill, and that snowballs, and UW is able to fight as a team and take out the rest of them. Looks like UW is going to be winning this first opening point.
And it just comes down to UW with their basically dive composition within Diva Backbone. They're just able to completely surround this more poke style coming from CSU. And there's a really big
oh my gosh!
Takes himself out, but Trivia technically gets 3. We'll give him that. He got 3 as the pulse bomb.
Yeah, he delivered the payload. He took out the people in the back, and the rest of UW was able to push up with him.
Yeah. What I was saying, for the first fight, is that UW were able to convert superior map control, just surround the poke composition from CSU to win the first fight. But now,
and there's a dragon. It doesn't really find anybody, but it's able to grab space. They split up the team, and here comes a separate dragon. Has a little bit more aim, but not able to find anything. Instead, UW goes in there, just kind of cleans the whole room.
Well, the dragon is massive, of course. It picks up 2, and even though there's an opposing dragon that comes in with 2 players picked, you aren't able to convert on any space you're able to gain. As we're now starting to look towards what could be last fight territory, depending on how quickly this next engagement goes. And we're looking at, I believe, 3, potentially 4 with the Primal Rage soon for University of Washington. But you do have this Nano and Trans up soon for CSU and several other ultimates as well, as Trivium goes down right off the bat.
Yeah, UW's popping ults right away. They're getting the early advantage on their ults. They're able to get a bunch of kills up. There's a high noon, but it's kind of an awkward situation. I'm not going to find any value. Stealth Ninja gets a kill with the Diva Bomb, and in the background, it's 100%.
What wins them that last fight is that a couple of the members of CSU just get caught in their spawn side mega pack room without help from their teammates. There's a Primal Winston in there. Other damage sources that they aren't gonna last in there, and so they're gonna pick up Sanctum, as now we're onto Village, and I believe the Symmetras just get out of spawn fast. There's no way Platypus actually sticks on this.
Oh no,
But-
Platypus usually grabs Symmetra to get some extra speed boost on the point at the beginning of each match.
Now, it does look like a UW is going to be going away from the dive, and the CSU is also going to be abandoning the poke style they are running, and both of them are going to favor this Ryan Zarya, which, to be frank, is very powerful on Village, because the entire point is basically in a house. Yeah, at least I think it's a house.
But notice the Symmetra is still here. Platypus didn't change off this round. Instead, they're going to be putting a bunch of turrets on point. They're going to be playing for point this time. Earlier, they were pushing up, but now they're playing for point. So they've taken control of here. They're trying to get some damage out. But they, unluckily, they lose their Nathros, but they switch it for the other Lucio. So both Lucios are gone, and UW gets a few picks right here. They got both of their DPS. They lose Stealth Ninja and Trib, but they're able to get enough kills. So this Symmetra is able to do a cleanup job, really.
Oh. And it looks like there's a Nathan. Just
Nathro, all by himself alone.
Yeah, that's this massive carnage in there, and Nathan looks like he's going to allow the recap to happen. Oh no, he comes back, but the point will eventually get flipped back to CSU. That was a very long, prolonged engagement there, as kills just going back and forth. We eventually a CSU comes up with it. But we're looking at a sim wall already ready for Platypus. Windows on both sides, but notably Mad Cow, he has this shatter and he could just negate tons of things here, as that knocks the Zarya down, but the ammo's there.
Yeah, it looks like we got the Symmetra shield. It's kind of canceled out with the window, but yeah, the dragon passes by, doesn't find anything. They're just kind of dancing around point right now. They're not getting into direct confrontation. Ani's getting low. He could be the first pick off here. Those guys are hammered down. Gets nearly the entire team. They're able to go in there and clean up UW. Yeah, UW kind of bunched up without any protection there.
And UW got a little bit greedy there, going after, I believe it was CSU Zarya. But when the both tanks are chasing her, the Reinhardt is able to just drop a shatter, and Madcal's not there to be ready to block it.
Yeah,
that means that the Symmetra is giving them a lot of point presence there. And as the engagement comes in right now, the grab comes in, and the sound barrier.
Yeah, they got the grab in the middle, and they got the turrets all around doing damage from every angle, not to mention all the people pushing in from the side of the point. They're able to really wrap them together, wrap all of CSU into a bundle, and take them out.
Right, and that was more an ultimate difference than anything else. You had High Noon and Grav come in on CSU, and the beat drop to counter the Grav and other ultimates there, but they're eventually able to convert that to a fight win, as we get a late
good hammer.
Good hammer and a late ammo field is not able to save Info Logic. He's gonna go down, and there's no shield to block the shatter.
Full team kill. That's gonna be a ton of time on the clock for the objective. So they're gonna get this advantage because they just caught up to the 64% that CSU has, but now they're going way past it. As CSU is kind of rushing to push for the next fight because they lost so much time there.
Now, the CSU, they are going to have this amplification matrix to just buy
And
all
there it
the
goes.
space. There it is, but the wall's there to basically deny it. Great sim barrier, but Madcal still goes down.
Yeah, Symmetra's walls have really just been to counter the window this whole game. It's kind of funny. But, okay, we're going to the next fight here. It looks like Ani is able to get 2 quick picks, took out both DPS. Stealth Ninja comes back and takes him out, protect the rest of his friends, but it's kind of too late. They have already got the kill advantage. And now it's like a 5v2, 5v1. The rest of them kind of ran away.
Yeah. And now we're kind of looking at a reverse situation here from before. Max, probably given how fast Batiste ult charges, and Window's going to be up pretty soon. If we are looking at last fight territory for the side of now UW instead, but at least right off the bat, there aren't going to be any ultimates now. High Noon and Soundbearer are going to be up pretty soon, and Grab will follow pretty quickly, I'd imagine, as well. The Sir Maffles has got to hold this beat for the grab that's going to come in just a moment.
Nato's got the beat. He immediately drops it down. It gets canceled out with the other teams. We got a We got CSU all grouped up, but not enough damage to go through. Their window goes, but it's a little late. We got two windows kind of cancel each other out. They're kind of shooting, playing almost dodgeball between these two windows. And UW is just able to kind of hard push, like they kind of rammed the damage.
Oh yeah, great fight that we had there. But the problem was that CSU got all caught up into a grab. The window comes down, and even though we had opposing windows, UW were able to run away from the opposing window, while CSU were just kind of caught up in a grab, and they just eat all of that window damage that just pours in, and that's gonna be Nepal going to UW. And I don't think you can say that was one-sided. That was fairly close, especially on Village.
Yeah, like in that last fight, something that we kind of saw was they kind of almost had equal ults. They put down opposite windows, they put opposite sound barriers, but with that one grab was able to tip the balance, like you said, because they couldn't run away, but UW was able to hide around corners while still shooting through that window.
Right. And it was great ultimates all around. We saw good flanks here and there. I think we saw Ani on the McCree for CSU go on a flank to pick up a few. We saw Platypus with Symmetra going around picking up a few. It was overall just a great play, great awareness of both sides, knowing when to do what and ultimate usage, all that. And I think we're gonna have a pretty exciting Kings Row coming up. As we're gonna go in, it looks like CSU, they are going to be on the offense, running into Ryan Diva from the side of UW.
Okay.
I understand what the Ryan Diva here. Obviously, you want to play Ryan at Kings Row. It's basically is designed around him. And
it's the given of Kings Row.
Right. And what the Diva allows you to do, at least on first point Kings Row, is allows you to allow you to keep presence on point. The Diva can just drop down point, contest, and then fly back up safely. And so I think that's part of the reason why you pick the Diva over, say, a Zarya in this situation. That being said, we do have CSU. They're gonna run a Ryan Zarya, and so that's gonna give them the brawl advantage, at least directly here. So we'll see how this turns out here.
And CSU likes brawling because they're immediately pushing on this first fight with this straight up brawl. They just kind of run in there, throw the hammer around. It doesn't matter he's holding up the shield because he's getting much of body damage. So Stealth Ninja is able to run away just like you predicted. They're able to run away and hide in the corridors, but it doesn't matter because they're losing points. CSU immediately takes down 2 picks. UW trades it out. Platypus coming in clutch, saving his team really. So we got 3 people on point, 2 up there, but it doesn't matter. You got to be fighting on point.
Right. And that was a composition difference there. The Diva defense picture is great, but it doesn't block the Ryan Hammer, doesn't block the Zarya particle cannon, and that's a bunch of damage that you aren't able to save your Ryan from. And so the brawl from CSU wins out, but there's a dragon that's going to force them all to this pretty tight corner here.
Oh, man. It didn't find any picks itself, but it pushed them all into the corner, and they're able to get a bunch of damage off that. And UW just has so much damage at the beginning that as the battle plays out, they just have a lead. They can't lose. There goes a whole team wipe.
Great understanding on how to use your Dragon Strike there. Forces everyone into a little corner. Mackel's able to just go in swinging. He makes sure that the shatter from Infologic isn't able to get valid, and he gets a big shatter of his own. But now, they're kind of dry on ultimates while we're looking at a sound barrier and more from CSU.
Yeah, it looks like CSU is going to be going more brawl in the streets, but UW is kind of prepared this time. The Ryan kind of charges after him. UW's Ryan is no longer just holding shield. They're actually trying to put some damage too. And Platypus and Stealth Bomb both getting picks. So CS kind of has to back off here or face doing a full reset. And they're able to get away kind of in time. UW's kind of chasing them back over here, but not much you can do this close to the spawn, especially as the other people keep coming. But they get a few more picks.
They're still getting picked.
Oh, man. Yeah, not a whole team wipe, but they've stalled a lot.
Yeah, this is the aggression that we love to see from University of Washington, and that's actually allowed them to completely flip the ultimate situation on its head. Last fight we were looking at basically 0 ultimates. This fight we're looking at 5 to basically completely match CSU. But Macau, he's got 2 aggro. He gets caught. This could be trouble.
Yeah, looks like we're going for a sound barrier. Oh, there goes a Diva bomb to take out 2 of them. Ooh, Ani had an ult too. He can't use it. There goes a Graviton. It picks up 2 people, but not enough damage to really kill something. Oh no, they're able to. They're able to make advantage off that. They're pushing past it, but they can't get past it. Once the Grav is gone, they lose the advantage.
That's a lot of ultimates that go into this fight, and it's still not entirely decided yet. Macau, he does have the Lucian support, but with the respawns coming in from CSU, he's probably gonna have to back off. And no, he's just gonna use it because the Ryan's not back. But there's no kills immediately off that, and Macau's low. He gets taken down.
Looks like the first 2 fights are kind of morphed into one really long one because neither team was able to get a full team wipe, and nobody wanted to give it up either. So CSU takes the advantage of it because they've got spawn advantage.
Right. And now the CSU, they're going to go on the aggro themselves, just force the Stealth Ninja on Diva all the way back, and that probably means that the second point is probably just going to go to CSU. I don't see a feasible way where they're going to contest. No, smart decision not to contest there, and they're just going to hold point C with 4 minutes on the clock for CSU.
There's a high noon on one side, we got a high noon on the second side, neither finds any value. That's fine. It was a cool sound effect, you know? Here goes a dragon right here, gets stunned.
Ooh.
He's able to throw it off, doesn't find anybody. Gets the thing. 2 Ryans hit each other. Let's see if the teams can back them up. Ooh, UW lost the draw.
But the thing is, there's enough damage going on in this little center room here. Both DPS are down.
Ooh, Ryan puts up a hammer down with his last breath. Nobody else there kind of able to get the kills off of it. As Platypus in the background just launching arrows and getting picks left and right. And there goes another one. There goes Baptiste down into the ground. As UW kind of backs off.
Flat was kind of hot right now, not gonna lie, and that was just ultimately just losing one off the draw, the McCree in the little center room, where the Mega Health Pack is. That was just too much. That initial pick, too much of Sanders. Trivia. He just gets 2 instant Deadeye. Didn't he just use that last fight?
Yeah, Crazy. He immediately got it back with a bunch of picks that he was getting, a bunch of damage he was doing. He was able to hide, and it was so quiet too. I barely even heard the call out. He was able to get behind the team and get them from behind the shield.
Yeah. Thing is, we have 4 ultimates on both sides, including 2 amp matrices. This is going to be explosive, and Impalogic, he gets demolished by the window.
Yeah, the window went up, and CSU didn't commit any ults to try to fight it, and so they just kind of lost all that damage.
Oh yeah. Nature goes down late, and so the UW, they're not going to be able to be in control of the tempo, at least for now, and so CSU, they're going to go in on top of that.
Oh, sound barrier to try to push up. They were brawling earlier and they're brawling now. There goes the bomb, so they gotta push up that shield for now. He was able to find Zarya off in the corner. But now it's CSU's turn. There's their window from earlier. There goes Ani with a bunch of picks and a Deadeye pick. Ani cleared almost like 3 to 4 people there, and the rest of this team are also putting in work. So they're able to clear UW off. Get the payload, looks like all the way to the end without contention.
That's the reason that UW loses that last fight. The reason why CSU are able to win that, I should say, is because of that exit frag onto Nathros, and because of that kill comes so long after Impalogic goes down to right. Impalogic pretty much immediately respawns. They're able to take that 6v5 advantage. Nathros not there to speed his Reinhardt out, and so Mad Cow, he gets basically pressured down on the Ryan. He's not able to get away fast, and that last fight just snowballs from there. And that was a really good place from CSU to recognize that moment of opportunity and take advantage.
Yeah, and it helped that they weren't committing their ults like for no reason. They were kind of stockpiling them and using them together. And so at the very end, they just kind of threw out a bunch of ults, and they were able to mesh them together.
Right. They were able to capitalize on the 65 and converge something more with their ultimates. Now on the offense, obviously UW, they aren't locked in on their picks yet, but right now we're looking at a Ryan Winston. interesting. I wouldn't traditionally consider Ryan Winston as staple for Kings Row, but well, let's see. No, okay, it's just troll. It's Ryan Zarya
Okay.
on both sides. As
Oh man.
we're just gonna get this teleporter out of spawn here. That's cool. Got Ryan Zarya on both sides. That's cool. Classic brawl.
They got the high ground. They're gonna loop all the way around. UW likes doing this from time to time, and this time's no different. So they're gonna get up there, get some height advantage. CSU is still on point, maybe backed up a little bit into indoors.
Right. And Platypus is kind of alone here, and he's gonna get chased
man.
by 3 members here. He's able to find refuge though with his wall climb though, and all of a sudden, CSU, they've lost point control.
Yeah, Platypus was able to kind of bait them off almost. So 3 people were chasing him, but that's 3 people not on point, so UW was. And now it's kind of role reversal. UW is in the background, CSU is in the front. It almost looks like CSU is trying to cap point, but UW is getting some percentage on the board. They lose Trib, they lose Mad Cow. It looks like they're gonna lose this entire fight as the weight kind of pushes over to CSU, and there it comes.
That just came down to who was able to get the first pick first, and there it was CSU able to find a pick onto Trivia, and even though they might have gone a little far chasing Platypus, it all worked out in the end. That wasn't entirely in vain for UW. They do pick up 33% with 2:30 remaining on the clock.
Yeah, Platypus was able to distract 3 people away from point, but the rest of the UW team wasn't able to get a pick all throughout that entire time. So it was just a normal fight, and here goes a few ults. There goes Graviton, goes a Dragon. It gets a bunch of damage off, and so the rest of the team is just able to get a bunch of picks to finish the fight off, and UW is running away.
Great charge from Infologic. As a Ryan enthusiast myself, I hear don't charge first thing a lot. And actually, this fight they're kind of trying to go for the re-engage here, and they pick up Ghost Dog. That's a lot of healing and an Amp Matrix off the table. Your Tributes just taking names.
Yeah, wow, they just kind of, with no ults to back them up, CSU kind of played a little bit more defensively, and UW took advantage of that and just ran right in there.
I think it's smart not to invest the sound barrier there from CSU, because your main source of healing just got picked there. Great play from UW, and now they're just gonna say, okay, this is not winnable even with the sound barrier. We're just gonna hold on to it for next point. But we're looking at quite the ultimate disparity, actually. 4, maybe even 4.5 ultimates ready for UW.
Oh, there goes a Graviton. There goes a Dragon with it. A bunch of people in there. Immortality Field keeps them up, but a bunch of damage is done. So once the Immortality Shield is gone and UW jumps in, they either have to back up or die. And it looks like a bunch of them chose the latter as Deadeye captures 3.
Okay, but that was a lot of ultimates there. The 5 ultimates get invested into that one fight, and only the sound barrier committed from CSU. So although they win this fight, not sure how they're going to handle next with Graviton Surge coming soon, Dragon Strike coming soon, and an Amp Matrix ready to go here. But yikes, that's a Fire Strike that picks up Mark 1.
And even with that fight advantage, they're still battling for the second payload point. So they didn't even get to the first the second checkpoint. But they're here now, and UW is able to get a few picks off and kind of finish off this classic team fight with no ults really used there.
Huge first pick. Without that first pick, you have to imagine that CSU were looking at a grab dragon combo that forces out both the sound barrier and the immortality field from UW, but that doesn't happen. So that's got to be this fight, and UW, they got 350 to push this home.
And they don't have many ults here, but they've got a bunch of charge, so they can get them pretty soon. A Dragon goes over there, is able to take out Trib in the background. But that might not be enough to win them the entire fight. UW is still in this game. They lose Mad Cow, but UW is able to turn things around. They are able to get some of their picks of their own, and now UW has the main advantage with the scoreboard going blue to red.
Can I give a shout out to Nate Throws there? He has nerves of steel. He does not immediately use the sound barrier there. And actually, the Staggers are coming onto point there as We have a ball just spinning round and round in circles, but he's low. Stun's there onto Ani. He's gonna go down, and this is probably just gonna be cleanup on this last point there. UW, they're capping with 3 minutes on the clock, and if I could just go back to what I was saying earlier, Nathros, nerves of steel on the last real fight there. The Grav Dragon goes down, but Nathros, he just holds on to trusting that the immortality field is just going to hold out long enough, so he's able to stall his beat drop just long enough. He gets the beat down right before the shatter comes in from Input Logics on CSU, and that provides him with just enough sound barrier health left to just sustain through. Then the window and Grav come in from UW, and then that's able to secure them that last real fight before like staggers, you know.
Yeah, even though CSU got the first like pick, UW was able to kind of buy time, and they're able to use patience, like you said, and commit the ults when they needed to be used.
Indeed, and is this a Genji? I'm sure I'm being trolled again. There's no way this Genji pick's actually real, right? It's probably just gonna. It's probably just for scouting, right? I can have my hopes, okay? I can have my hopes and dreams, okay? But
it looks like Ani's going back into. Oh yeah, he's changing.
Yeah. Didn't think that this was yeah. It's just the McCree that we've been seeing all day. Oh, or the Ashe. Okay. I see you. Just get that dynamite burn damage and just a longer poke value as. All right. Ooh, no.
That's tough. Hanzo and Platypus gets taken out, and CSU doesn't let that waste. They're immediately pushing off of that. UW's getting a bunch of damage off here. Has to background the loop, and they're healed up. There's their Trib got stuck. Got pushed away from the pack.
Yeah, that was interesting. The UW, they're actually committing to this, trying to hold on to this point, but I think the man advantage is just too strong here. As UW, they're gonna get cleaned up here. CSU, they're able to collect this point and then get some kills, and so there are gonna be some pretty long spawns from UW. That was an interesting engage, though.
Yeah, CSU immediately got the pick on the Hanzo, and they didn't let a single beat pass without rushing in and capitalizing on it.
Right. UW eventually tried to engage there, recognizing that Impalogic dropped to 50 HP, but they weren't able to find the security the elimination there, and so we're on point B now as Trivia. He gets found out probably from the Sonic arrow, and yikes, that's a man advantage again.
Yeah, unlucky first picks. UW is like almost immediately losing one person, and it kind of leaves the rest of the team to suffer, and they get picked out.
Mad Cow used Shatter too, so that's one not on the table there. Now, Stealth Engine, he's able to trade out one, but I think this almost favors the offense here, as you're gonna have a lot less tanky power. He's just gonna swap over to Tracer just to be back fast, and Stealth Ninja, he can't swap. He's got the grab, and this is the fight that UW are looking for to close this out with the overtime ticker burning.
Yeah, with overtime ticker burning, they can't lose a single fight. CSU has got to get another early pick like they've been doing this whole round, and they do. They find two picks this time and make it a third with a graviton commitment and a window. They're able to get an entire team wipe. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, this is all of a sudden a huge overtime push for CSU. They invest the grab and the Ant Matrix, and that alone is enough to just clean house. And they still have a sound barrier here, and Shatter is gonna be coming soon. Stealth Ninja, he's got to use his grab soon to try to just stop this.
And they've got a Deadeye. Trib has a Deadeye. He could combo with a Graviton, but instead he uses it earlier, trying to get around that shield, but Reinhardt sees him at the corner of him and just kind of blocks him. He's able to get Mark off the Hanzo, but that might not be enough because CSU, the rest of the team is there. There's a Dragon. He hits the sound beat and Immortality shield. He's able to get rid of input logic. No more shield. UW needs to capitalize off this now, and they do. They run in and try to push all the squishies who are hiding behind that Ryan.
Yes, and so UW, they are eventually able to stop the payload, but at what cost? This is halfway through point C on King's Row, and That is nothing to scoff at, given they started out with a minute and 42 on the clock.
Man, yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
yeah, CSU, they got to be patting themselves on the back for that. That's gonna be pretty difficult for UW to match, but we'll see what they're able to do here. As now UW, they're gonna try to put something together with the 3 minutes that they have.
Yeah, with just under 2 minutes, I would have been proud of CSU for even capping the first point, but they were able to get past the second checkpoint and nearly all the way to the end. They got to the underground. That's going to be hard to do, even with 3 minutes, even with with a way more time that UW has here. Man, it's still going to be hard. They're going to have to get initial cap off this first point like CSU did, but that's going to be tough.
Yeah, CSU had just amazing ult synergy there, and although that very last fight didn't go, who cares? You got it, dude.
yeah.
And just great ultimate usage there. As we have a May out here actually from CSU. Okay, so they're gonna be looking for some kind of wall to split as the UW try to rotate through it. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I think the May pick is kind of just a stall because that's what they're going to be trying to do right now. Even if they lose this first point, that's a long distance for the cart to go. So as long as they can stall and not lose this point immediately, they're going to be doing good. And they get a first pick, which is looking good for them. Looks like UW might not be able to immediately cap it, but UW is still going to be committed because they need this early cap. So the Ryan's kind of pushed up all by himself, pushing into that May. The May backs up and Zarya puts up some bubbles to try to get away. Mag's putting out some damage, takes out the Lucio in the background. Yeah, it looks like UW is pushed back onto point. They've got their spawn advantage, so all their fallen people are back here. They get Immortality Shield. A window immediately gets put up as soon as they got it.
Matrix Arrow just one-shots 200 HP people, but the Riptire is gonna be there to just pick up the stragglers.
Oh man!
Just cleans house. The spam damage ultimately proves too much, and even though Ani got what he wanted with the May splits, the capitalization wasn't entirely there. The Mad Cow was able to live just a little too long, able to break the wall, get the support to Mad Cow right when he needed it most, and UW, they're able to aggress onto Streets phase.
Yeah, UW did a really good job at capping the point. Maybe it wasn't as fast as CSU's, but man, it was still fast. Yeah, they're able to kind of push up into the underground there, way in front of their escort, but that's fine. They got a little buddy on the back pushing them along.
And with that pick onto Mark 1, that's basically a free fight win. So, and CSU, they're going to respect it, wait for the respawn to come in before trying to contest this, but that means that Streets phase is going to be a one-fight ordeal.
There goes a Graviton and Hammer, gets canceled out by the shield, but the Graviton was enough by itself to get some damage off him, and they were able to win this fight. Looks like
now the Shatter was invested there, and the Grav comes down. The problem is, take a look at the ult bank from CSU. They have a grand total of 6. Got a full house here. UW, they have to play this fight so intelligently, or else they'll just be run over with the sheer ult advantage. And this is we're basically at overtime, even though we're technically 30 seconds. There's no way UW is able to win if they just lose right here.
Yeah, and CSU was over here when they were in overtime, and they were able to push it up. So it's looking good right now at the beginning for UW. Although they get pushed in the corner with the Graviton, they take out the Immortality Shield, but it's kind of too late. The Dragon has already walked past. A bunch of UW people escape death there with the sound barrier and pushing up. They're trying to maybe clean it up.
But like here's the thing, there's still more ultimates to use on the side of CSU, and now that all of the defensive resources on UW have been exhausted, but finally the sound barriers ran out, the Emerald feels no more. Nathan actually does get a big boop onto the Batiste, but there's no support for Mad Cow here. He's going to go down, and now it's just UW desperately staggering on point. He's going to get booped off, and CSU played that last fight so intelligently,
They
recognizing
did.
that we don't need to win this fight or the next fight or even the next fight. We just bank our ultimates
Yeah.
until we have all 6, and then we just win there. UW, they have to use ultimates to make sure that they win every single fight, and so they end up at just an ultimate disparity. Only two or three ultimates to use on that last fight there versus 6, and yeah, Evo Field is great, Sound Barrier is great, but in the end, they're probably only going to be countering 1, maybe 2 ultimates. Which even if both the Evo Field and the Sound Barrier counter 2 ultimates each, CSE still has 2 more ultimates to toss at you, and so there's that was a very intelligent play, and this
Yeah.
is looking to be a very exciting last map here on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, since CSU was able to push their points, push their escort so far in that previous game, they knew UW was going to be super desperate to just push as far as they can. So UW was investing like nearly every ult as soon as they got it, and CSU was able to play off of that and just kind of let them waste their ults, because as long as they get that one last fight, they win the round. So we're going to be going into Gibraltar in this next round.
Right. And Gibraltar is definitely a much more wide open map. Notably, point B, you have that huge spaceship that you can sit on, and great point for dive. And UW, they're switching right back to their wheelhouse here. And on the side of CSU, they're also actually going to choose this dive. So I actually like the diverse compositions that we've been seeing, showing capability on all types of situations. And you got this Widow here. Let's see if this Widow can get value.
Yeah, they're peeking around the corner. They're not able to look at any heads from over there, so probably change position over there. Platypus on Echo.
Oh, no.
Found the Widow and is just punishing them for being out in the open by themselves.
Yeah.
And Stealth Ninja taking out the Winston. Platypus keep going deeper. Even though they got anti, they're still flying around there looking for points. And might even be able to capture this Ana over in the background. They're able to.
Amazing dives. I mean, what can you say? Platypus, he finds the Widow not ready, and he's just able to pick the Widow immediately, and everything falls to pieces from there. And now Ani makes sense. Ani's gonna go to the Tracer now. Widow's gonna be really hard to play against dive. Everyone all up in your face. This pick makes a lot more sense, synergizes with the rest of the team comp here.
Yeah, Platypus has been going around getting a bunch of picks, but UW, the rest of the team has been together. And so they're able to get kills on their own. So Platypus isn't really abandoning their team. Although they're getting pushed back right here, with UW investing a Diva Bomb that doesn't really find any value, but the rest of the team is able to.
And this is actually going to be tons of ultimates here in order to secure the last point. And even though the initial fight looked kind of scary, UW, they invest, I think, a total of 3 ultimates there and to secure a point A, and now they're gonna go for the super aggro. Yo boy here.
Oh man.
Fortunately,
got so low before using his ult.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that means that's an ult that you don't have later, and I think Maka would have much rather been able to keep that. That's a big eat onto the pulse spawn there, though, as kills are being traded both sides.
Yeah, Mercy was taken out immediately, so the rest of the UW, I don't think they realized it or cared, because they're still pushing around. They're still taking fights that they needed that Mercy heals for, so they lost a few. But it's still a fight here with Mags committing a Zenyatta ultimate right here. Try to protect this Winston, maybe get that Winston out, but they're not getting out. Instead, they're doubling down. They're committing to this fight.
The problem is, entirely UW is caught in a small room. Now there's a self-destruct, and their kills are still being traded, but it looks like CSU is going to come out on top. And I was gonna say, I wasn't entirely sure about the choice to use ultimates there. As okay, to be fair, they are able to sling fights with ultimates, but that seems a little ambitious, not gonna lie.
Yeah. But it looks like they've switched points. They're all fighting on top of the spaceship now. Okay, they're kind of jumped off before jumping back on. This is really a sky battle this time.
Yeah, but that's 2 big picks from Mags. Actually, frags on 2, and now that's a large part of this dive gone, and now this backline is going to be so vulnerable. UW immediately takes advantage, and this is probably going to be second point going to UW.
Yeah, you can see Mark 1 committed the Molten Core to try to maybe hold them off point, but Edub just kind of walked around the puddle and was able to take him out.
Right. That's not an accident, by the way. Ghost just wants to be able to respawn with the rest of the team, and spawns on Watch Point Gibraltar are kind of brutal. So good from him. And oh, I was gonna say, if that pick goes through, then that would be very scary. Fortunately, Impelogic able to get out with his life, and he's gonna be fine. And there's tons of ultimates now for UW here.
Yeah, they can do like it. But the first try to get some goods, but it's got two people behind. It does backline, but you backline get all the run.
Hey, in the meantime, though, it seems that the UW, they're able to eventually clean up this fight and able to get a few picks onto the divers, and UW, they're able to stabilize with all of their ults here. And the problem is the CSU, they're kind of ult depleted as well here. Pulse Bomb goes in, just takes out an ammo field, and now the trans is now forced out from Mags, and this is looking a little scary here.
You look like
I think that Eugenio's mic is a bit off right now, so I'm just gonna be solo casting for a little bit here. Don't worry, guys, I got your backs. As it looks like that right now we're in a bit of a lag between fights, but there's really only the Mercy ultimate. Valkyrie is here immediately, but Duplicate's gonna be up soon, and I'm probably gonna be duplicating the Winston for this extra dive power here. But the hook is in, and Plasma's, he's not gonna be able to pop the ultimate on time, and that's gonna be 2 picks now. Mad Cow also goes down, and this is probably another dead push with 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. Now that said, there are now gonna be ultimates on both sides here. 3 ultimates on the side of CSU, but a grand total of 5, potentially 6, since its Pulse Bomb charges insanely quickly. Probably 6 ultimates on UW, and you have to imagine this is the fight that UW are looking for to secure the map. Now we're just going to see this kind of high ground controller. Here comes the dive with this double Winston here, trying to get on this backline here. But the Zen does have Trans, able to get to pop it. But Mark 1, he's forced off the edge. Transcend is supposed to aim for that. There are 2 primal ranges that's forcing the supports back in, and that means that everyone else isn't getting healing there. Great space control from the side of UW. Eugenio, you back to help me out?
Yes, I'm back here. I can take over. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Trib is getting a pulse bomb with 2 kills. UW kind of going crazy.
Yeah, that was great play we saw there. The support's not being able to heal the team. Problem is, the re-engage is here with the ball install and the tracer. It's a bunch of fast characters just able to get to point fast, and that's heartbreaking. With 0.82 seconds remaining, UW burned everything to convert that, and now there's only 1 minute on the clock.
Man, okay, sorry for the disconnect. I'm back here, but it looks like the escort moved maybe 2 inches while I was gone.
The good thing is that the old economy on the side of CSU has basically been reset because they had to swap to just try to get their staggered, and that means that this Roadhog, he's not gonna have any support available, and he just gets rolled over here. And so even though the stagger came in to save that fight, that means this fight is basically gone. Self-destruct comes in, able to just zone everyone off, and that's it.
Okay, so yeah, it looked like just before that team fight, UW had a slight advantage before CSU came in and kicked him off point, but that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. UW maybe lost 30 seconds, 40 seconds in the most. So at the end of the day, they got the final point.
Yes. Which okay, granted, it's escort, and so you technically don't need to have extra time because you're always guaranteed the extra attack round as long as you finish. But hey, it's nice to say you finished with time remaining. And that was a really intelligent play from UW, realizing that the ultimate situation was just reset on the side of CSU in order to try to rescue that last fight, and they're able to regress with an ultimate advantage.
Yeah, and that last fight kind of showed that this isn't a clear winner right now. Both of these teams are doing quite well. They're both doing their A game. Not only on this map, but on the previous map, like on King's Row and even Nepal. They've just been playing just well. Yeah, nobody here is kind of throwing the ball.
Right. Now, I do want to point out here something that's happened. We have this Roadhog, which we did see on point C back on the defense ground for the side of CC, but we have this Roadhog. And Roadhog is an interesting pick. Everyone else is kind of on these dive characters. I guess it's more for cart presence, right? That's why you pick Roadhog. He's a big bully. He's just so hard to just force him out. Or maybe he's just here to try to get an initial pick, but I think that they're gonna stick on this, and as looks like there's high ground control attempt to come through.
Yeah, UW is staying up top. Trib maybe Trib by himself down here, trying to fight this Tracer and Roadhog at the same time, and they're gonna lose to it. Not much they can do there.
Yeah, Trib didn't have support there from the rest of his divers, so he's just gonna get fragged on. But Mark, he gets burned. He's gonna get taken down by Platypus, and that's also a big problem here.
Yeah, let's see. UW kind of the last remaining people are being cleaned up here by this Sigma, trying to push them away, but they're able to get that last pick on the Sigma, put him back to the respawn, but that respawn is right there. The respawn advantage is so huge there that UW is kind of getting picks that aren't going to be doing that big of an advantage later on.
Yeah, and these are late support staggers too, and this is gonna be ugly on UW. They're just gonna trickle on point one by one, but they aren't gonna last here.
Yeah, sometimes UW just needs to realize that they got to take some L's. They can't win every single engagement.
But hold. They have 3 picks.
Oh yeah,
Rez is coming through. Oh man. So maybe we're a bit too pessimistic here. They are actually able to convert that off the Valkyrie, and that's just a big individual plays there. Like UW had no business winning the fight, but Platypus, he decides I'm gonna commit the bomb, just stall out point, and that buys enough time for the Valk to come and get a clutch res off. Amazing decision there, although we were maybe initially skeptical of it.
Well, it was a huge bet, and they won the bet somehow. So they get to reap the rewards. Now they can keep it before this first checkpoint.
Now, Gabe didn't realize that we had to swap into a poke comp really on the side of CSU, but that doesn't matter if you just get Diva bombed and it takes out your Han zone. So CSU, they're actually gonna choose to still come in here. Mercy, the trans is just in time to save the Nacers there, and Dragon Strike does come through, but that space is gonna be easily regained here. This is gonna be stalled even more.
Yeah, that dragon was a little too late. Zinnia already healed. Oh. Out of nowhere, Hog was able to get a pick on Trib and send him back, but he gets rezzed. Doesn't matter.
Rez is there, and so that trade's not gonna actually accomplish all that much there. The Roadhog is as it just staggered himself there, as we're now looking at last fight territory. I have a couple of support ultimates and a pulse bomb from CSU. On the other side, you have the bomb, which is just gonna have to stall out for so long here. Mad Cow does drop low though. He's gonna need to get healed up pretty soon.
And there goes one of CSU's ults. They just lost the pulse bomb.
Right.
And Valkyrie getting pulled out early here. It's lucky because it just saved Mags there from just the verge of death.
Yeah, the extra 5 or 10 healing that does comes in clutch, keeps Mags up there. We're now looking at 15 seconds left. The trans just to keep the fight going. That might actually pick up Mad Cow.
Yeah, and the window definitely helped too, but there's kind of nobody there to see through the window.
Yeah, Roadhog, he's gonna have to step up, just get point presence, but he takes so much damage. Bomb is there. The Touch is able to be there for the moment, but oh, Max, he's just fragging on everyone. Platypus 2. This is just going to be cleanup. There's only a Sigma left, and he's not anywhere close to touching.
Man.
That's gonna be that last fight there. Was UW putting a pretty decisive first point hold on Watch Point Gibraltar, and man, UW loves living on the edge.
Yeah, like at the first time when UW was on attack, it was looking really close. CSU was doing a great job defending, and especially right at that last fight when it just kind of went on for eternity, it was looking like CSU just might be able to do the same thing, but apparently they're just not as good as on attack as they are on defense. And that's
UW also makes several gambles there. We saw that they chose to try to save that first point hold on the defensive side for UW. They send in all these ultimates. UW, they just love playing this style. It's just, we have ultimates. We think that we could convert this losing fight into a winning one. We're gonna go for it. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but at least from what we saw, we don't know. They might as well just always work. We can't tell the difference.
Yeah, they barely managed to get that fight right before. And if they had lost that first checkpoint, it could have changed the turn. It could have turned the game. Like
right,
for
UW would have been in so much trouble if they had actually lost it, because they invested a bunch of ults for nothing there. But the clutch factor's there, and they're able to pull it off.
Yeah. So yeah, good job to UW. It's been it's been a much closer game than we've seen in the past. Even though it's not 2-0, it's 2-1. So good job to CSU. They put up a really good fight there.
Right. So that will wrap it up for the Overwatch section of this broadcast here. But don't go anywhere, because in about 5 minutes at say 6:56, 6:57, we're gonna bring you some Rocket League against the JMU Dukesy Daisies. So until then, congratulations to the University of Washington for this map there. I believe, in addition to the match that we didn't see, this might technically be spoilers, but who cares? This puts UW at 7-1 overall record, and they currently stand actually in 13th place, which is pretty good if I do say so myself. Next week we're gonna come back with some more collegiate Overwatch games, so stick around, and when we return from the break, when we come back from the break, there's gonna be some Rocket League for you guys. Until then, this is Panda Bear
and Vid,
and we'll catch you later.
Peace.